Happy Tuesday!
My name's Nick.
My name is Alan.
And welcome
Into the dungeon.
This week we find ourselves back on the Sword Mountains, where Shrew's Shrubberies are waiting outside of a desolate tent. Shrew had gone carefully and stealthily inside the tent to see what he could find. What he came across was a bloodbath. 3 people with their throats slit as they slept. The lone guard sat outside with an arrow embedded in his chest. He had found a note offering a stern warning, which had been stamped with a 5-headed dragon. And this is where we're picking up this week.
Oh my! This is not good. I must get back to my party and let them know what he found. I want to exit the tent still stealthily if I can and make my way back to my companions.
So, is it clear, Shrew?
Well, it is clear now. Unfortunately, the owners of the tent have all been murdered in cold blood. In their sleep, there's 3 bodies inside the tent and 1 outside of it. One of the bodies was holding this. A warning.
What kind of warning, Shrew?
It was telling them to get out of the mountains, or they would pay with their blood. It seems they have. And it seems that we are not alone in these mountains.
You reckon there's some more orcs up here? You think they did it, Shrew?
No, by the looks of the arrow they used to kill one of the victims. It wasn't orc handiwork. They stamped this letter with a motif of a 5-headed dragon. Do we recall any information about 5-headed dragons when we read the book Dominic Dingledix Discovers Dragons?
I don't recall seeing anything in that book. But give me a religion check for sure.
Total of 18.
Having grown up in Neverwinter and studying amongst the priests of Tyr, you do recall some obscure information on a little-known cult, one that worships dragons, in particular the god of dragons, an evil god, Tiamat. You don't know much about them, but you do know that they seek out dragons to bring them to their cause.
I've been thinking. The 5-headed dragon, if I remember correctly from my time when I lived with the priests of Tyr, he's an evil god, and it is worshipped by a cult. This cult is known to look for dragons, to bring them into their fold. So perhaps we will encounter them on the way up. Perhaps they have made the way to the mountain in an attempt to take control of the ice dragon. That would be a powerful weapon indeed.
All the more reason to kill this damn beast then.
Yes. And if we find the cultists, to get rid of them too.
Well, if they're anything like the cult of Talus, shouldn't be a problem. No offence, Mulkup. None taken, mate. I wasn't an anchorite. They were weaklings, relying on magic, not brute strength, like the orc.
Well, after seeing their handiwork back there in the tent, these guys are not shy of using brute strength either.
Do you know what the people in the tent were, Shrew?
No idea, no. They seemed to be mercenaries or bandits. Highwaymen, perhaps. But no, I'm not exactly sure what they were doing here.
They weren't our friends that we met on the road, were they?
You mean the ones that had the chest that belonged to Hobbing?
Yes, we left quite a few of them to go.
Yes, no, it was not them. I would have remembered. It was a sorcerer, remember?
Oh, yes. He ran away, didn't he?
Yes, in any event, it wasn't them, and we best be careful. Watch our backs. It's getting dark now. We're gonna have to settle and make camp, but We need to be extra vigilant tonight. They weren't killed today or yesterday, I don't think. They've been there a while, but we'd do good to keep our eyes peeled and our ears perked up.
As you're saying that, give me a perception check.
10.
Out of the corner of your eye, you notice Fenna give Fabian a look as she raises her eyebrows and sort of nods towards him.
Anyway, we should continue a bit further. I don't fancy setting up camp beside this bloodbath. Perhaps we push on for around 20 minutes, what do you say?
Sounds like a plan. The idea of bunking up with those corpses doesn't sound particularly appealing.
No, not at all. As we walk for the 20 minutes, I want to keep my eyes peeled in case I see an appropriate shelter. Be it another cave, maybe an outcrop, maybe some trees, anything that could aid us in sheltering from the cold. And if I do see it before the 20 minutes are over, I want to stop.
Okay, then roll for survival.
Total of 7.
You're trying to keep your eyes peeled for any natural shelter. But after about 20 minutes of the cold biting your skin and feeling it deep within your bones, you haven't found anything that can offer any kind of shelter. As you're walking on in the silence of this desolate place, you hear the ticking of your new chain that your friends the Gnomish Kings had given you. As you look down at it, you now realize that those 20 minutes have passed.
Very useful chain that I got given. I love it. Anyway, the 20 minutes are over. We should stop. We should make camp before it gets even colder.
I'll stop pitching the tent then. Do we have anything to light a fire? It's going to be freezing.
I want to look around. Do I see anything at hand that we could maybe cut down or use as fuel for the fire?
There's not much where you are, but a couple of 100 feet away, there's a couple of small evergreens. You could perhaps forage some twigs from there, or maybe cut one of them down. You did also find a flask of oil in the saddlebags of that horse.
Okay, I want to go to those evergreens, try and get some wood, and then try and start the fire. Maybe I'll use that oil that you mentioned to pour it on the wood so that it lasts longer or burns warmer. I don't know. Don't really know how fires work, to be honest, but let's just say that the oil helps.
Yeah, just don't pour it all on top of the naked flame.
No, I'll douse the wood with it, and then set it alight.
Very well. We'll say that after about 30 minutes, you've managed to gather enough twigs and branches. And by the time you get back to your friends, Fagan's finished pitching the tent, and you're able to light your fire.
Well, good job everyone. We're set and ready. Just in time for the night. Let's have some sausages, some more mulled wine, and let's call it a night. Who's taking first watch tonight?
I'll take the first one if you don't mind.
Yes, of course. Remember, we are not alone in these mountains. We know that now. Extra vigilant, please.
Aye, Shrew. Do you fill your bellies? I take it that the others are going into the tents, along with Caspus?
Yep.
Alrighty. Fabian's going to take the first watch. Give me a perception check for Fabian.
A total of 5 for Fabian.
Okay. Just rolling to see what happens, if anything at all. The Shrew Shrubberies settle into their tent in the unforgiving embrace of the Soul Mountains. The cold seeps through the fabric, constant reminder of the harsh wilderness that surrounds you. As Fabian's keeping his watch, he sees the moon hanging low in the icy sky, casting silvery shadows across the snow. The night is still, and the only sounds are the occasional distant howl of a lonely wolf, and the wind's mournful whispers. His watch passes uneventfully, marked only by the gradual descent of the moon. Okay, I'm going to roll to see who Fabian's going to wake up. Fabian returns to the tent, shivering. Oi, Murkov! Murkov! Oh, Fabian! Take its might in there, mate. It is indeed. Oh, hope you've left a warm spot for me. And Fabian settles down for the night, as Murkub now takes his watch. Give me a perception check for Murkub.
Total of 15.
Whilst Murkub takes his watch, the sky unfolds as a tapestry of stars that glitters like diamonds against the ink-black sky. The cold has settled into an almost tangible stillness, as Murkub marvels at the celestial display above. The constellations seem to tell stories of heroes and mythical creatures, the tales etched across the vast canvas of the night. His watch too passes in a quiet reverence, almost as if the very stars had bestowed their blessings upon true Shrubberies. Murkub makes his way back to the tent, and Shrew suddenly feels the prodding of a boot against his side. Right, Shrew. It's over to you.
Okay, thank you, Murkub. Well, I've had my rest then. It's been good. While it lasted. Is everything okay?
It's been quiet. Stars look pretty though.
Distracted by stars, okay. Anyway, go to sleep. I'll take on from here.
And Murkub bunkers down for the night.
Okay, I take my watch.
Give me a perception check for Shrew, please.
Natural 1, but I cannot roll natural ones, so here we go again. Natural 2. I can roll natural 2s.
And just to clarify for listeners, if that had been a natural 1, it sticks, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can only re-roll it once. Total of 6.
Okay. As you take your watch, the chill seems to deepen. The wind picks up, whispering secrets through the jagged peaks, carrying with it the echoes of forgotten tales. The rest of your watch passes without incident.
Good. I go over to Fenna and shake her awake. Fenna, it's your turn.
Give me a perception check as you come into the tent.
14.
As you walk into your tent, you notice that there's a tear in the fabric. There's an arrow piercing through. It seems to have a bit of parchment tied to it.
Oh, shit! Okay, very carefully take the parchment from the arrow.
Okay.
Can I look at it?
Of course you can.
Well, I do.
It's written in the same hand as the note you found in that desolate tent. There's a message written here. At the bottom, that stamp again, the five-headed dragon. The message reads, "If you are more members of the Stone Cold Reavers, then the bodies of your companions should heed as a warning. Leave now unless you want to suffer the same fate. If you are wayward travelers, then your presence is required at a camp just beneath the final ascent to Icespire Hold." As you read in this note, the ink seems to be absorbed by the moonlight that's coming through the tear in the fabric. It's an ominous message hanging in the frozen air.
Well, we are neither one or the other. We are not wayward travelers. We are adventurers on a quest to defeat a dragon. And we are not the Reaver guys either.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, Fenna. It's your turn to take watch.
What are you mumbling about?
Well, someone left us a love letter.
Love letter?
Yes, the same persons that killed those poor adventurers back there have now warned us to either leave if we are part of their crew, or join the camp if we are wayward travelers. At least we know where the camp is now. Just before the final ascent to the Icespire Peak.
Do you think they're still watching us, Shrew?
It could be a very big possibility, yes.
I think I'll be taking Caspas with me on my watch.
That would be a good idea.
If there's sign of trouble, I'll shout.
Don't worry. If they wanted to kill us, they would have attacked by now.
Perhaps they just think we're traveling merchants or explorers.
Yes, and they've requested us to find them at their camp, so they must have some use for us. Perhaps as bait for the dragon.
Oh, I hope not.
Don't worry, we'll take care of them. And the wretched dragon too. We're almost there. It's so exciting.
Well, I wouldn't use the word exciting. It seems now that we don't just have a dragon to contend with. We've got this cult
Don't worry, all will be fine. And soon we shall be the heroes of Phandalin and the Sword Coast. We'll make history, Fenna. Anyway, I'm going to bed. Good night.
Good night, Shrew. And so Fenna and Caspus go carefully outside. Give me a perception check for Caspus and for Fenna, please.
Fenna rolled a 10 and Caspus a natural 20.
Oh, Caspus. The final watch for Fenna and Caspus is approached with the promise of dawn on the horizon. The cold, however, shows no mercy. And your campfire now struggles to ward off the biting temperatures. Fenna's eyes scan the perimeter as Caspus sits alert, the fur in his back standing on edge, as he hears a soft rustle, disrupting the night stillness.
Oh, what's wrong, Caspus? Quiet, Fenna. Something approaches.
As Caspus and Fenna look towards where those rustles come from, they see a creature blending into the snowy landscape. This is not a creature of malice, though, but one of curiosity. This is a lone Arctic fox, its fur blending seamlessly with the snowy landscape. Fenna and Caspus watch in hushed silence as the fox sniffs the air, lingers for a moment, and then disappears into the wilderness. Not long after, morning's light arrives, and Fenna and Caspus make their way into the tent to wake their companions.
Rise and shine, everyone. First light is broken.
Oh, I was having a good dream. Okay, well, let's get going. Again, cold sausages for breakfast. We want to pack up quickly, have a quick breakfast, and get going. As we pack up, I inform the rest of the crew about yesterday's letter we found and the location of the camp of this cult.
So you mean to say they were right on us last night, Shrew? Did you not see them?
No, I'm sure they had long gone by then. This arrow was probably fired when you were keeping watch.
Can't have been. Otherwise Murka would have seen it when he came to
Well,
wake you.
Murka was looking at the stars all night. Anyway, let's get going.
I think we should be extra vigilant as we march today.
Yes, I think you're right.
Well, it's not too far to the Icespire Hold from here now. We'll be there before night, unless we, fall down a cliff or get distracted by damn horses.
There will be no more falling down and no more damned horses. This is the final ascent. We need to get our shit together. We need to take this seriously. It's a matter of life and death. We're going to be confronting a dragon soon. It's no good to be fumbling around the wilds. And when we encounter this camp, we should lay waste to it. The last thing we need are people sneaking up onto us when we're in direct conflict with a dragon.
What if they're allies of the dragon? Perhaps those... what were they called? Stone Cold Stunners? Reavers? Well, whatever. Perhaps they'd come to kill the dragon themselves.
Well,
mercenaries or heroes from somewhere else.
Perhaps. More reason to get rid of the camp and the cult before we actually attack the dragon.
So we're not looking for Dingledick's secret entrance then?
Well, that was the plan. But I think we can't risk entering a battle having this cult around.
So what's the plan then? Are we just marching into the camp and laying waste to it? We don't even know how many cultists there are. Or if they even have the dragon as their master. Shrew does have a point though. What if we sneak into the castle and we're fighting the dragon and suddenly we're flanked, ambushed by this cult? They've already killed those men.
Well, it cannot be helped. It's clear what we have to do. We have to get rid of these people. They might become a big problem. They might be the difference between us defeating the dragon and us succumbing to them and the dragon. If we can't get past them, we had no chance against the dragon anyway. If we attack them and the dragon comes, then we'll have to deal with that problem. But if we can get odds in our favor by defeating them first, then so be it. They wanted help, it seemed, from wary travelers.
Why do you think they wanted help? The note didn't say that, did it?
Well, they requested any travelers to go into the camp.
That sounds more like a report to see what they're doing in the mountain rather than asking for help.
Well, we'll show them what we're doing in the mountain. Once we defeat them, we can always turn back and look for the secret passage to surprise the dragon. If he hasn't heard the ruckus. Hopefully there are not many and we can deal with them quickly, swiftly and silently. We'll see how it goes.
So Shrubberies are making their way to the base of the final ascent to Icespire Hold then, are they?
Yes, and we are looking out for the camp. But as we're walking there, we want to kind of be perceptive. We want to try and see if we see anyone following us, stalking us. You know, anyone watching us.
Very well. What's your marching order then?
Same as the first day. Fabian in front, Fena, Caspus, Murkab, and then Shrew. Fabian, I am trusting you to be the leader again. Don't let me down.
I reiterate, there's only one path at the moment. And it's up.
Don't let me down.
Okay, so give me a survival check for Fabian. And give me a perception check for the party with advantage. You can use the highest modifier from your party for this.
Okay, and before I roll, I'd also like to say that if we start getting closer, or we feel we start getting closer to where the camp could be, we want to start stealthing. And I would like to cast Pass Without a Trace.
Okay, so add a stealth roll for each of your party members then as well.
Okay, I'm gonna roll the first thing you said.
Survival for Fabian?
Yeah. A total of 11.
Okay, next up, perception for the party.
That's with advantage, right?
Yeah, and you can use the highest perception.
That's a total of 23.
So now give me the stealth checks as well. And remember to add the plus 10 for your Pass Without a Trace, which you will cast when you sense that you're close enough.
Are these blind rolls?
Ooh, actually, yeah, thanks for reminding me. It's been a while since we had a blind one.
Yeah. Also remember that Shrew rolls with advantage because of his boots.
His elven boots.
Alright, so I'm going to roll all of them at once.
Okay, I'm now going to ask you to roll your advantage for Shrew.
Okay, here goes.
And so our heroes make their way towards Icespire Hold. As you march, the wind howls with an unearthly fury, whipping the falling snow into a frenzy that obscures the very edges of reality. Shrew and his companions bundle against the frigid onslaught, pressing forward with determination through the heart of these strong winds. Your cloaks, now heavy with snow, billow like tattered banners in this tempest. Ascending the icy slopes, the air becomes thinner, biting at your lungs with every breath. The world around you seems a swirling white abyss, a white void that threatens to swallow you whole. Yet with each step, our heroes persist. Suddenly, through the blinding snow, the silhouette of Icespire Hold emerges like a ghostly apparition, perched precariously on the icy northeastern spur of the Icespire Peak. The fortress clings defiantly to the frozen cliffs. Its stone walls, weathered by ages, stands as a stoic testament to the endurance of those who sought refuge within its walls. The wind's fury seems to relent for a moment, almost as if nature itself acknowledges the arrival of our valiant souls, true Shrubberies. Our heroes gaze upon Icespire Hold with a mix of awe and relief. The fortress, outlined against the wintry chaos, appears as a beacon of hope in the desolation of this storm. Sheer icy cliffs surround the hold, forming an impenetrable barrier to all but the most determined. Our heroes trudge forward, their footsteps disappearing almost instantly in this relentless snow. As you focus on the fortress, you notice that the battlements are adorned with icy stalactites, towers crowned with snow-cupped turrets, and windows that glow dimly, like beacons in the encroaching darkness.
Well, there it is. Icespire Hold. Perhaps a welcome sight for you, Murkab.
Aye. My old home.
But a dreadful sight for us. No doubt. Soon we'll go down in history as the heroes that defeated this dragon that is bringing ill and affliction to the lands around it. Or was the heroes that were foolhardy enough to dream, to have the audacity to think that they could defeat such a fearsome creature?
Just as long as we don't fall down the mountain.
Well, yes, we don't want to be remembered as the stupid heroes that fell down the mountain as they went to kill a dragon, no. That would be even worse. I, for one, would like to think that we will go down in history as the ones that slayed the dragon. And I am confident that we will be.
I love your enthusiasm, Shrew.
Oh, yes.
I want my revenge on this dreadful beast.
And we will have it. Lay your eyes on the hold, because that will be the place where the legend of Shrew's Shrubberies will be born.
Who had the highest perception score then?
Shrew or Fenna?
A tie between them?
Yes, we both have 4.
+4, yeah?
Yeah, that's right.
We'll say Shrew then, given that it's Shrew's Shrubberies. Shrew's eyes are drawn to a steep, icy slope which descends sharply from the southern walls of Icespire Hold. Treacherous path leading down from the fortress's heights. This snow-covered terrain seems to cascade down like a frozen waterfall. As your eyes follow it, some 60 feet from the foot of that slope, your eye catches the glint of something shining in the light.
Can I tell what it is exactly?
Give me an intelligence check.
16.
Looks like something made of metal to you. But from this distance, and with the snow, you can't really tell exactly what it is.
I see something glistening there in the distance. It seems to be in the slope that was described in Dominic Dingledick's adventure. The slope he used to escape the fort. I believe it might be his sleigh, confirming that that is the secret entrance.
That's good to know. Quite a steep climb, though.
Yes.
We don't really have much climbing here beyond a couple of ropes. Though you did find a hammer and crowbar. Not sure how that will help, but better than nothing, I guess.
We'll figure something out. Don't worry.
I thought we were going to the camp first.
Yes, the camp first. Do you guys see it from here?
I can't see anything from here yet. All I can see is that the path seems to wind and continue ascending. I'm sure we're not far away though now.
Then let's keep going.
Perhaps now would be a good time to cast your spell, Shrew.
Yes, it seems we are getting closer. I will cast it now. And give us the edge. Let's be as silent as we can. If we can surprise them, even better.
Okay, I'm going to make a DM roll. And so Shrew's Shrubberies trudge silently through the desolation of the snow-covered expanse underneath Icespire Hold. The biting cold gnaws at your very bones. The wind carries with it an otherworldly chill. The landscape continues to stretch out endlessly, in a canvas of isolation, where only the bravest, or perhaps the most foolish, would venture. Amidst this desolation, new shadow begins to emerge against the pristine white. A circle of large conical tents, standing as dark sentinels against a wintry backdrop. But these are not ordinary shelters, but structures made of reinforced ice and blackened wood, an unholy fusion of nature's wrath and the twisted craftsmanship of what you now know to be the cult of the dragon. Even from this distance, you can see those unholy symbols and banners adorning the tents, depicting the fearsome visage of the 5-headed dragon goddess, Tiamat.
How big does the camp look?
Big enough for some 15 to 20 men.
Well, it's quite a big camp. Not what I was hoping for.
I imagine if they've come to capture a dragon, it wasn't going to be 2 or 3 people.
No, you're right. Let's get closer. Quietly.
Perhaps you want to lower your voice then.
Let's get closer. Quietly.
You start making your way closer to this camp. I'm going to ask you for a perception check. Again, the same. You can roll with advantage and use Shrews.
Total of 18.
As you get closer, you can see 2 guards standing near the entrance to the circle of tents. They're dressed all in black, adorned with a long cloak, and what appears to be a dragon mask on their heads, completely covering their faces.
Is there a way where I can get a bit of higher ground so that I'm able to see what's inside the camp?
This camp is pretty much right at the bottom of this final ascent, and you can see that the path continues to wind up to Icespire Hold. From here you can see that the building is actually made of two small towers. A smaller one which appears to be a gatehouse, from which leads a small bridge linking up to the main building.
So then the camp really is blocking my way if I want to ascend further or get higher ground.
That's correct. All the higher ground is behind the camp, and the only way to get there at the moment is through it.
From where I am right now, and seeing as I can now see the hold up at the top more clearly, would I feel that if we cause a big ruckus here, it might alert the dragon?
Depends how loud the ruckus is, but there's quite a bit of noise from the wind, so it'd have to be something spectacularly loud you feel from here.
Very well. Well, it's no good. We can't really get a glimpse of what's inside the camp or the numbers we are dealing with. We're gonna have to go inside. Some way or another. I have a plan.
Oh, by the gods,
No,
this
now.
better be a good one, Shrew.
Fabian, don't start being a stick in the mud. Stop being so negative.
What's this plan? You're not going to just rush up and cast erupting earth, are you?
No. That would be preposterous.
Remind you, you've done that a couple of times.
Well, because the situation warranted it. Now listen, I will turn into an owl. Oh yes, a silent hunter. I will swoop into the camp and see what we're dealing with, and I'll make my way back and report.
What if you get shot down?
Shot down, Fabian. Owls are majestic creatures. Creatures of the wild, creatures of these mountains. They would not dare do such a thing. I don't imagine. Anyway, owls are silent. They make no noise as they fly. They will not spot me.
Is this wise though, Shrew?
Of course it's wise, Fenna.
What if you need your wild shapes in battle?
Well, I still have one more, don't I?
And if you'd have to drop the shape or you're knocked out from it? That's it. You've only got one. What if we draw the attention of the dragon and you need to change again?
It will be fine. I have spells. And I rely on your strength as well. It's not just me here. It'll be fine.
We can't forget we've also got the gnomish ballista as well. Pusardar's weapon.
Yes. Exactly. We are armed and we are ready. If I can't use my wild shapes against the dragon, well, so be it. It will be a hindrance, but it won't be the end. We've got other ways and means. But we need to deal with this threat. They're too close. If they catch wind of us attacking the dragon, and something tells me that they will, once the dragon starts flying around and breathing his icy breath, these people down here will notice. They will come up, and if they see us trying to kill the dragon, then we have a problem. We need to deal with them. I won't engage. I will just very quietly fly in and see what I see.
You promise you won't engage on your own, Shrew?
Of course! And if I am engaged, you will hear it. And you can rush in. Take those two guards out first and then continue in.
Be careful, Shrew.
Oh, I will be.
We haven't come all this way for you to be a pile of feathers in the snow.
Don't worry. Owls are silent. Here we go. And I turn into a owl. I imagine I might have myself seen an owl on the days gone by. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, you would have seen an owl at some point in your life.
Yeah, but I mean more of a owl of the location, a snowy owl or something, to blend in better.
Yeah, a white owl.
Yeah.
I'll say you have.
Alright, so I turn into that. First off, I want to fly higher. I want to have like a bird's eye view of the area. Far enough where I don't think they can see me. But with my good owl eyes, I want to see if I see numbers in there, what kind of numbers I'm dealing with.
Alright, just gonna clarify something before you fly off. As you're wild shaping, usually you adorn a fiery red mustache. Given that you want to turn into a white owl, are you forgoing the mustache on this transformation?
No, I don't choose to have a mustache.
Oh, that just happens naturally.
It happens, yeah. I can't really now say that it doesn't.
So you're the snowy white owl
with a red mustache.
with a big red mustache.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunate, but it's what it is.
Alright, so give me a blind stealth roll. As we've been role-playing, the boots meld with you, so you still get the benefit of advantage on stealth.
Do I still get the +10 for the pass without a trace?
That you do.
Great. So I'm going to roll the stealth roll. Blind.
All I'll say is it's a good thing it was with advantage.
Great.
You need to give me a perception check as well, which, being an owl, is now with advantage on checks that rely on hearing and sight.
That's a total of 19.
So Shrew flies up and starts circling the camp. From up here you can see that the heart of the encampment burns a bonfire, its flames dancing defiantly against the encroaching cold. Shadows flicker from it, casting eerie shapes upon the snow. You can hear the air crackling with an unsettling energy. You can see that a short distance behind these two guards stands a towering totem, carved with chilling runes that seem to pulse with a life of their own. Sinister icicles hang from its gnarled edges like cruel daggers, poised to pierce the hearts of those who dare approach uninvited. With your owl-like perception, you sense an eerie calm over the encampment. The winds whisper tales of ancient evil, and the two guards seem vigilant and alert. You can hear soft murmurs and occasional laughter emanating from the depths of the tents, creating a discordant symphony that hints at a tension lying just beneath the surface. What you were doing?
I want to circle a bit more and then start descending away from the prying eyes of the guards. I want to get close to one of the tents, see if I can peer inside. Maybe fly by it and not land.
You're now hovering outside one of these tents. Its entrance is closed by these flaps. You can't really see inside unless you want to poke your head in.
I want to pass flying by all the tents. Do I see any that may be open?
None of these tents are open, which would make sense to you given the cold outside. You do notice that not all of them seem to have voices coming from them though.
How many have I been able to ascertain have voices coming in from inside?
2.
2 of them. And how many voices? Can I kind of tell how many distinct voices I'm hearing?
2 in one tent, and 3 in the other.
I can guess more or less from what I've been able to hear and all that, and see that there's maybe around 7.
Yeah, that's including the 2 guards obviously outside.
Yeah. What about that totem? Does it look stable?
Stable in what sense?
Stable in the sense that if I land on it and kind of push it, would it topple over?
Not as an owl, no.
Not as an owl.
It's not going to topple over if you perch yourself on it.
Okay. I want to perch myself on it. How high is it?
30 feet.
30 feet.
So Shrew Snowy Owl perches himself on this totem, and as your talons make contact with it, you feel this surge of magical energy. You'll need Shrew to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh shit! Oh shit! That's a total of 3.
Total of 3.
Yeah.
Fabian's not going to let you hear the end of this. This surge of magical energy gets stronger, and suddenly this ice shard is launched towards Shrew, piercing the owl for a total of 7 piercing damage. Shrew drops form. I'll give you another dexterity saving throw to see whether you can hold on to the totem or if you're going to fall off it.
A total of 12.
So as you drop your form, you're just about able to grab onto the totem and stop yourself from falling.
Oh my.
But as you're holding on, you hear this explosion of cold
What?
as you dealt 9 cold damage.
Oh shit!
That ice shot that pierced through explodes, dealing additional damage.
Oh shit.
You now notice that the 2 guards standing at the entrance turn to face the totem.
What is it?
And that's what we're going to call a session.
Oh yes, I love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah, this surely isn't a A-team level plan.
No, not at all. I knew something would probably happen if I stepped on the totem. I was curious. I wanted to see what.
Oh dear me.
Dear me indeed. Let's see what happens.
Just when you're at the foot of Icespire Hold as well.
Oh yes. How far away would you say my companions are from me? Just to get an idea for next episode.
I mean, how far did you want to stop before going that way? About 100 feet?
Phew, that's a bit too much. 20 feet.
Well, at 20 feet, the guards would have clearly seen you.
You think? There's no place to hide?
Not much. It was more that you were obscured by the snow, and you were all very silent. I can now reveal that Casper's also rolled a nat 20 again.
Ooh, nice. Okay, so 100 feet then. Wow. Yeah, it's gonna be close.
You're in for a fight with the cult at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Sneaking in and triggering that trap.
Well, yeah, anyway, there we have it. Another plan. Another Shrew plan. It's, I think, what our listeners expect by now.
Perhaps something that Fabian expected as well, deep down.
Yeah, he sounded worried, and with good reason.
So we hope you've enjoyed that episode. Surely been fun playing it on this side of the screen. For a while it seemed like not much was happening and you were just going to make your way to Dingle Dick's secret door. But the tension has surely ramped up there towards the end.
Yeah, next episode will start with a bang, straight off into a fight.
Quite literally a bang.
Yep.
But yeah, if you don't want to wait till next week, don't forget to visit our website www.i2td.com, where you can follow the links to all our good stuff, our Buy Me a Coffee, our Discord channel, our socials. And if you do head over to our Buy Me a Coffee, why not sign up for one of our membership tiers and get exclusive access to little tidbits that we've got on there for our followers, or make a one-off donation where you can purchase a potion or an item or spell scroll. It sounds like Shrew's going to need all the help he can get at the moment. And don't forget, it's not just that you make that purchase and that it appears in game, it's also your opportunity to be a part of the stories we tell and the adventures we play.
That's right, we'll give you a shout out if you do donate. But if you cannot donate, don't worry, you can still help us out by liking our stuff, following us on our social media. You can follow the links at i2td.com. Join our Discord, where you can find us daily there. Maybe also leave a review or a comment on this episode or any other episode you've heard on your podcast player of choice. And also spread the word to friends, families, and people that you don't know as well. Just stop them in the middle of the street and say, hey, I got this recommendation. Into the Dungeon, best podcast ever. And that way, we'll be sure to grow, and you will grow with us. So thank you very much for everything, and thank you very much if you do share the legend of I2TD.
And so that brings us on to the end of the episode club.
The last one standing.
You know what to do by now. This is episode 77. We give you a password. You use it in a comment or witty remark or even some art. We've had some art. It's been a while since we've had an art submission.
That's right.
But yeah, use the password. Make us laugh, make us feel things, make us go,
Oh, that might be copyright.
I don't think you can copyright a sound.
No, okay.
For those of our younger listeners, that is Al's best impersonation of the good old Tim the Toolman Taylor from Home Improvement.
Classic.
And so, do you have a password for today, Al?
Yes, today's password is Stunner.
You care to explain that a bit?
Well, yes, the group that the cult of Tiamat was hunting were called the Stone Cold
Reavers.
Reavers.
Or as Fabian referred to them, the Stone Cold Stunners.
And he said that because
of the classic wrestler.
Oh yes, a baldy like me.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
All right.
The name is actually not Stone Cold Steve Austin, but the name of the Reavers is actually the Stone Cold Reavers in Icespire Peak, so I didn't come up with that.
And the stunner part is because Stone Cold Steve Austin, his signature move, his final move, his finisher, was a Stone Cold Stunner.
Suppose you could also argue that Shrew's plan has been a stunner as well.
Oh yes, Yes, that's right.
So there you have it. That's your password for this week. We look forward to reading and seeing your submissions. So without further ado, we're now at the true end of the episode, and we hope you join us next week as we delve
Into the dungeon.
You reckon there's some more as you're walking in the silence, you can hear the clicking and clocking. Casting chivalry.
At least we know whether the last thing
His elven boots. These boots were made for stealthing. That's just what I'll do. One of these days I'm gonna sneak right up on you.
Ooh. I for one think we will be remembered as the ones that slew the dragon. Slew a word.
No.
All right, Poppet.